Hello everyone! Today I'm starting a new Godot series about making your own, making your best, making your special MMORPG. In my case, this is a platformer and it has a lot of different stuff like an inventory with items inside it, equipment that you can equip easily, double jump, triple jumps, even have some kind of weird and nice moves, swords that you can use to hit your enemies, receive some equipments and scrolls and stuff like that. Also there is a chat that everything works. So today we're starting to make something like this. This is actually my old game that I published it offline mode. I started to make it online but didn't finish it. Too much work for one person. And this run I will start all over again just to show you how I do stuff like that, how I deal with the gravity, with the physics, everything like that. So let's start. New project. This is where I like to put my stuff. Best perfect game. Create folder, create and edit. So before we start, let's define our screen. Our screen should be a 2D screen. Let's say it's a game world, the name of the screen, save it. Save project settings. Let's define some window mode, and for this project I will use 9020 by, and before we start, this is too big for a test. The screen is too big. What we're gonna do is to make it little bit small just for the test purposes. So if you will get a calculator, you will divide those numbers by 2. That's the test screen we're going to use. Those are the numbers. And while we are at it, let's do it 2D, expand, and done. Let's see, this is our screen. So first thing we're gonna do is the Tilemap. Let's create new 2D scene. I already have some assets ready. I will link them in the YouTube page down in the description. Where are the tiles? Here all the tiles I'm gonna use. Okay, this is simple tiles, exactly the same from my different project. So I will copy all of that, create new folder, assets, this tile set called summer, and tiles. Here we go. Inside the project, let's call it summer assets, summer tiles, all of it. Put here. Here you go. All of the tiles. Now the easiest way for me to do that, once again, it's not the best way, but that's how I'm doing it. I'm doing screen convert to tile set screens, screens summer tile set. Save it. No need this anymore. I can save it. Tile set. No need this. Tilemap. Here I will load the tile sets I saved. Here you go. And by default the resolution of the cell is not the same, it's twice of the size, so we will use those numbers over here so it will perfectly fit. Great. Now let's create something easy, something like that, a platform that the player can stand. Should be good enough. That should be fine, right? Let's check. Great, good enough. So now that we finish this, we can, actually I forgot something. I need to add a collision for each of them, so I will do it that way. On the tile set I pressed the tile summer, my tile created, it will open me this box. I'm just pressing this collision, box collision, great, next. I will do it for all of the tiles. Well, not all of them, this I don't need actually. And this, great. This will be a little bit different. It will be something like that. Finished. And to make all of those dots exactly by the end, I'm just dragging it over the screen like this. Great. Next. Same goes here. Great. Done. And last one. Great. Done. Finished. Now we finished with the first part. Now let's create a quick player, quick character. By the way, I found this map on this website, Sprites Games Art 2D, and if you scroll all the way down, you will see free game assets. Once again, I'm not sure if it's free or whatever commercial use, but for your test purposes you can use it, I guess. Those are the maps. This is mine, and it's just free download. Do whatever you want with it, except making a payable game or something like that. So I also got the trees, I also got anything else. I'm not going to use it right away, but this is the asset I was using. So this is the map, And about the character that we're about to create, I took it from the similar website, is this one, and the character is here. This is the character we're gonna use for now, just for the test, and those are the three parts we're gonna actually use. So let's go to the assets folder, character, let's see how we're gonna call it. Basic parts, I guess. Basic parts. The basic parts. So let's create the player. New. Let's type kinematic body and the assets, the characters assets here, all of those parts, export as sprites, and collision shape. Now let's say the body is going to be our root parent, something like that. So I do transform 0 by 0, and the rest is going inside the body like that. So basically when I move the body, the rest is moving. Let's put the head over the top, leg here, this is gonna be right leg, and this is gonna be left leg. By the way, I just duplicated them simply by Control D, and it will create whatever instance you want. So I'm done with the legs. One small problem, the legs are overlapping the body. So basically what I'm doing, I'm taking those both legs, Z index -1, and done. This is our character so far. This is how it looks. I think that's enough. Let's name it player, right? Let's make a collision for it. This one. Something like that. Great. This is a nice collection. Let's save it as a player. Now I'm finished with the player. Let's go back. Let's load the player. Let's see how it looks inside the screen, inside the map. This is how it looks so far. Nothing special. We can run the game. So far we can see the player. So let's start adding stuff into the player. First of all, let's add a camera that follows the player. I will say it current camera, and smoothing, so it will follow the player very smooth. Okay, so far so good. Now let's create script for the player. Let's start coding, and before I start, it is not the best way to script, and that's how I do that, and this is how I roll basically. So I press on the player, the kinematic body, add script to it. Great. This is what we got so far. We will remove everything and start coding. So first of all, let's create function physics process. Inside this I will put move and slide, velocity, floor. Those values are not defined yet, I know. Let's define them. Okay, so we have movement. For the movements we have velocity and for vector. That's all. Finished with this one, and before I run, let's apply some kind of gravity to the plier to see if it works. So y delta, like this, moves down until it touches. Great. Didn't see that. Let me show you once again. I will move the plier a little bit upper, make the collision a little bit stronger, the gravity I mean, and here it goes down. Let's see how the camera follows the plier. Great. So far so good. Now let's start coding stuff. Let's make a movement first. So in this case I'm going to do it in a different way. I won't put any controls inside this script. I will make another node. I will call it controller. Let's create a node, controller, save it. Great. Inside this node, this basically will control the plier. All the controls will be over here. Why I'm doing that? It's a little bit complicated, but basically it's something to have to do with the multiplayer. But let's leave it like that for now, and I will show you guys how I made it work. So to control something I need to define an object I want to control. So in my case is the plier. So to do that I will take advantage of the IDE for that in this way: export node path plier. This basically will make a parameter script variable that I can actually choose a plier, pick something to work with. Plier. Let's see. Left, right. Okay, so let's say with the left and right. Let's start. If input dot is action, just press UI left and move speed, move left. Else if input is action, just press right, move speed equal move right, else move speed idle. So basically if I move left, this command will send you a plier that it should move left side. When I press right click, it will send the plier move right side, and if I won't press anything, it will be 0. It will idle. So let's send it right now. Plier move plier. This function does not exist yet, we will create it inside the plier. So let's head back to the plier, and this is my function, your plier speed, and if speed so move speed multiplier. This is basically the speed that the plier is going to run every frame, something like that. Else speed, something like that. This is when the speed equal to 0, the plier gonna slide and to stop. It's gonna actually slide to stop. I will make it like that, I think it's better. Now you know what, something like that from my personal experience should be fine. Let's define the movement, move plier. This is speed gonna be max speed like this. Now, where I was wrong, this is not exists yet. Here you go. Fine. Let's continue. Now, let's see. Let's start and see what happens. Wait. You know what? I have more stuff to do before I start. So I have this velocity dot x equal to move speed delta. Let's see what's happened. This is the plier and nothing works because I didn't define the controller yet. Yeah? I didn't define it yet. Let's define a controller, put it over here. This is our controller. Assign plier to it. Let's start. Left moves very little, but moves. Let's continue with the plier script. So basically I have let's see 1000, yeah. Now let's continue. The movement speed is too small. Let's add little bit to it. It moves but it stops. I wonder why it happens. Let's see what's my speed like. Oh, I see. I know the problem. Inside my controller, this is not just press, it is action pressed. This is my command. Sorry, my mistake. This should work. Great. Now we don't have gravity, but the movement works. Let's continue working and let's define a gravity already. So this going all the way down. For the gravity, we're going to use something like that. If is on floor, so it's if I put this mark, it means it doesn't on floor. So if the plier is hovering, it should apply some force, gravity force to it. This is how I do it. This is the gravity force I defined earlier, and this should work. Now, if the plier is on the floor, I want a constant gravity force, very small one, to the plier. So velocity y, like that. Let's see. Okay, works. The control's little bit weird, but we will fix it. Let's do it something like that for now. Okay, I think it's good enough. Now the plier don't have maximum move speed, so let's do the move speed. If move speed is smaller than minus max move speed, then move speed equal to minus max move speed. If move speed is bigger than max move speed, then move speed equal to max move speed. This should limit my movement speed. Great. That's great. It's fine enough, good enough for me. And let's continue. And the next step I'm gonna do is the jumping. So, and let's create few variables. I want the plier to jump like 1 or 2 times, defined by the variables only. So max jump times 2 jump counter. This is how many times it jumped already, 0. And jump speed is the force that applied to the jump when you press. Let's create new function, move jump plier. It don't have any variables, just press the key and the jump should work. And so first of all, the jump counter goes up. Now we have the check. If jump counter is smaller than max jump times, then jump speed jump multiplier. It's gonna be something like this, jump multiplier. So basically this is our jump speed. We're going to put it inside the velocity y, but where? Let's see, where should I put it? So right after this, because we don't want to interfere our velocity y with the jump, right? So if jump speed is bigger than 0, yeah, we're jumping, then velocity y like this, and this goes back to 0. Now to make it work, I will add in the controller another command. If input is action just pressed right up, let's work with the up, then player jump player, this is the force going to apply, moving, nah, they jump too high and it jumps only once and doesn't reset. Let's fix this right now. So inside the player we have let's reset the jump counter once the player is on the ground. So if the player is on the ground, if jump counter is bigger than 0, then jump counter is 0. It should fix the problem where I can jump only once. Great, works for now. Jumps 2 times, right? 2 times. But the gravity force is too small or the jump force is too high. Let's play with that. Let's see what we can get to. Let's see. Jump force, let's do it like that for now. Great, much better. And the player also slides when I stop the key. So far so good. Jumps 1, 2 and no more. Okay, the last thing I want to add is when you press right key it should look right. When you press left key it should look left. So let's do it right away. Let's define some variables. We have space left is 1, space right is 1, and our face direction inside here. Basically when you press any key it will check what direction it's facing and it will flip the sprite the other way basically. So if face direction is not speed, let's do start direction is face left. This is his start direction. So if face direction doesn't equal to speed basically is or -1 or 0 or 1. This is basically what we have. If doesn't and speed is face left, then body set scale vector to 1 1, and the same thing goes face right, but this is the only thing we're changing. Let's see how it works. Facing right, but doesn't work on the left. Direction should be at 0 right now. Right. What did I miss? Right. Face left, face right. Oh, right, I didn't set the direction So the direction going to be as the speed goes. Right. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Wrong way around. Should be like this, I think. Plus, minus. Should work now. Great. So the player jumps. Let's fix the jump a little. I don't like the gravity. It's too weak. Gravity. Grav multiplier. Something like this. Let's see. I think that's fine. Yes, looks like fine. Works fine. Okay guys, I think I'm done for today. This is the first lesson about the tile maps, the tricks I'm using and stuff like that. The next step's gonna be animations and how to merge two animations in same time. I mean, like moving hands. We don't have hands for now, but moving hands while walking, different kind of animations, we will do it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you next time.